Welcome to Boom Trust channel, where we discuss important topics around neurodevelopmental disorders. Today we have a very important topic on parental self-care, and we have an amazing guest on the show to help us understand the particular topic. I am your host, Dr. Fidel Adabaraza. Welcome. It's such a joy, such an honor to have you on Boom Trust channel, and thank you so much for coming, and we look forward to an amazing show. Would you kindly introduce yourself to the audience?
Thank you, Dr. Fidel. Greetings to all our viewers. My name is Catherine Kithaka, a mental health professional, and I'm glad to be here. It's such an honor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Indeed, we look forward into this amazing topic, wellness, self-care for parents of persons with neurodevelopmental disorders. Now, when we are talking about neurodevelopmental disorders, remember we are talking about conditions such as cerebral palsy, autism spectrum disorder, dyslexia, and among others. And we are many out here. Myself am a mother of a child who is on the spectrum. She's autistic and also has cerebral palsy and sensory disorder. And there are people who have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and many others. And the challenges of parenting a child with neurodevelopmental disorders are myriad. And so today I'm here to learn as well. I'm really looking forward to get to learn a few nuggets on self-care. So without much ado, kindly just give us all the information you can.
Awesome. Thank you once again for having me here. And self-care, it's a very important topic, particularly to the parents and caregivers. Oprah Winfrey made a statement that I will begin with that is very profound, that we ought to make ourselves a priority, fill ourselves up so that we are able to give out to others. That's in a nutshell what self-care.
Make ourselves a priority, because it's hard for you to be able to give what you don't have.
You can't pour from an empty
tank.
Yes.
But many a times, reality checks as a parent, and I'm a single parent for that matter, I have found myself, my life revolving around my daughter for the last 14 years. Because remember, you are a full-time parent, you are a full-time professional, and there is a lot that is demanding. And there are challenges that come with neurodevelopmental disorders. Let's say, for example, a child who is autistic, you find a child is melting down for no apparent reason, and the child will cry for hours without any reason. And at times it happens even at night. And so you find that you have gone the whole day, you are at work working, you come home, and through the night the child has meltdown. You find yourself at 5 a.m., no sleep, nothing, and you cannot do anything much. And before you realize, probably again, hospital issues set in and you have to keep running. You are thinking about therapies, medications, nanny issues, and so many other things.
I hear you, Dr. Fidel. And allow me to start by affirming you as a representative of the many parents and caregivers out here who are supporting and caregiving children that are living with the neurodevelopmental challenges. And then I echo what you're saying. There are several challenges that they are going through. You just mentioned about the health concerns. A child is okay this morning, by evening they are not well, and you need to take them to hospital.
Sure.
Work-life balance. You're a mother, you're working, you're a sister, you're a wife for some of them. And so having work-life balance becomes a big issue. Others would be financials. I mean, the resources. This child, these people may need to be on support, medical support, psychotherapy, counseling and all that. And so the resources could be constrained. And we can go on and on. But most importantly, it's the well-being of the caregiver. They are strained, they are overwhelmed, they are in this day in, day out. There's no holiday, there's no break, there's no time for yourself, and it's very possible that a mother, a caregiver, a parent can easily get overwhelmed. And the reason why we need to take a pause and just talk about the caregiver, the parent, that mother, that father, that caregiver, and just to see how can they be able to take care of themselves.
Sure. It's important to take a pause. Once in a while,
Yeah.
think about yourself. You come first because you have to be in order to give. If you are not there, then even this person that you're taking care of will not, get someone to take care of them. Wow.
It's very, very important, a point that you bring on board, Dr. Fidel, because these people, our children, the people living with these disabilities, they have emotions. They can tell when my caregiver, my mother,
They are complete human
they are
beings.
complete human being with senses, with emotions, with feelings. So when, as a caregiver, you're stressed out, you're overwhelmed, you're depressed, you're dealing with anxiety, this person will suspect and will sense it and will feel it. And you transfer that frustration.
And you know what? I've interacted with children and youth with neurodevelopmental disorders enough times to know that they have a very high IQ, very sharp. And I think, scientists will tell us about the human brain, the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. And some of them, probably it's just a bit of injury on the right hemisphere. And so maybe it is the artistic part of it that they are not able to express themselves. But when it comes to the left hemisphere, they are very sharp, and they are the mathematicians, they are the scientists, and so locked in there. And so even as you're doing and going about everything you're going through, they are looking at you, they are analyzing you, they are saying exactly what you're not talking and what you're not saying out.
Precisely.
And at times it breaks their hearts when they realize that you're falling apart because of them.
Precisely. And then it's a very good point that you bring, and I think that will form the basis of then what do we do? So what you're saying, we need to take care of ourselves as a caregivers if we are to be effective in taking care of those that are in our care. And maybe to start us off, what is self-care? Most of the time when people hear about self-care, they think about exercises.
Oh yes, I thought so.
There are many aspects of self-care. We have the physical, and that's where the exercise comes in, and we'll be going into the details. We have the social self-care, the circle of friends, the circle of support, the community of support. We have very important emotional self-care, how we feel within us. When we are overwhelmed, we are not okay emotionally. So emotional self-care will be important. We have spiritual self-care. I don't know whether you knew about that.
Spiritual self-care.
Yeah, we all have a supreme
spiritual
being
quest.
that feels, that comes and feels that space. Financial self-care.
Oh yes, you can talk about that.
Because the needs are there.
Yes.
So when you talk about self-care, it is basically looking at the caregiver wholesomely, holistically, financial, social, economic, emotional, physical, and so on and so forth. So we'll be looking at practical ways of how we can support our viewers this day, even to be able to carry on taking care of themselves first.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
That is a very important part that we want to zero in and just come and look about that. But just before we break into that, the society has a way of putting a lot of pressure also on the caregivers. The expectations from the society. It's like, you did wrong to get a child. There's a kind of a mistake that you did to get a child with disability. It's your responsibility as a person. You had a hand into it. Maybe it's a punishment or something. And that leaves you as a person at times walking around with kind of a weight on your shoulders, because People will be talking in harsh tones as you move, and you don't know what to do, because even yourself, you have no answers on what's going on and what's happening around you. And when you look around, you also realize that people are talking in harsh tones, and it just makes you as a person feel like you and your child don't belong in one way or another. Maybe just something about that.
Wow, I do hear you, and it's very, very unfortunate that our society sometimes is very unforgiving. That those children or those adults are looked at as a lesser being. Allow me, Dr. Fidel, to bring some spiritual aspect into this, that nobody is on this world without a purpose. Even that child who can't communicate because maybe they have autism, or that child who cannot walk with their 2 feet like
Because they
each one
have
of
cerebral
us,
palsy.
because they have cerebral palsy. There's something in them, like you said. So the society, and then I'm calling upon us as a society to appreciate these people as a resource, as a gift, as an asset. You know, in the good book, in the Bible, in Psalms, the Bible talks about being a blessing. So it's a high time we appreciate that it is
Children
not
are actually
a
a heritage from the Lord.
from the
And
Lord.
the blessings of God addeth no sorrow.
They make it rich,
Yes, no sorrow.
So it is not their fault. It is not the parents' fault.
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
It is not that they are lesser being. It's only that they are abled differently. We don't call them disabled anymore. They are abled differently. You find that all have a
In fact,
niche.
recently they said, I was interviewing one person with cerebral palsy, and she said, they're not able differently.
Oh,
As a matter of fact,
okay.
all of us are able differently. You
Differently.
are able differently, I'm able
Precisely,
differently.
precisely.
And so every individual has some support need. And so you just need to look at them as an individual with support needs. And their support needs will be different from your support needs.
Precisely.
Take it as this. A woman who is pregnant, at that particular time when they are pregnant, they have support needs because of the pregnancy. A child who is autistic has support needs because of the autism aspects. And so we just need to look at every individual as an individual needing support. And so what is the support? I think that is a very good place for you to speak to the society and end it there, and then tell us, we are going to go into another episode where you'll tell us more into self-care. We'll want to hear more about that.
Awesome, awesome. A good place to end the society. We are urging all of us that are going to come across this episode that every of those individuals has a purpose. There's something that is in them, a resource, a gift, and a form of excellence. I have seen Dr. Fidel, your daughter is very good on the camera. I can't do any of those. So every of these people are to be embraced as part of our society. They are not those ones that we point at. They are not those ones that we segregate. They are not those ones we look down upon. They are just as important, with a purpose, with a cause to accomplish. And the best we can do is to nurture them, is to cheer them, is to support them, including the caregivers, in ensuring that they live their lives optimally. They are part of us. They are not different in any way. I love what you have said, that we all have our own differences. Theirs may be physical that we can see, or intellectual that we can see, but there are people that have something great in them. And let's be a society that will nurture the greatness that is hidden in these souls. They are precious, and we can only love them, embrace them, and support them.
Awesome. And God in his own creativity has created all of us, a diverse people, and put us in this world, a creative world that he has created. And so we all belong to something beautiful. Thank you for listening in. This is Beauty Out of Mire, where every person thrives in the society. Let us create inclusive environments and allow every person to live to their maximum potential. Please remember to subscribe, follow, and like us on all our social media handles. And until next time, bye-bye.